Hey everybody, welcome to the Sketchbook Chronicles. If you're new here, this channel is all about my art journey and things that I'm learning, and I'll post tutorials and art review products and things like that. So if that's something that you're interested in, please subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications. For those of you who are already subscribed, thanks so much, I really appreciate it. And for today, I thought I'd show you something that I've been working on over the last few weeks. I'm by no means an expert, but I thought it'd be a fun video to kind of show you guys where I'm at. And that thing is 5-point perspective. So a few weeks ago, like I said, I came across a 5-point perspective video on YouTube, and I thought I wanted to try it. So I just started practicing it. Again, I'm by no means an expert. This is literally going to be like, I think, the third drawing I've done in 5-point perspective, but it is pretty fun. So I thought I'd just walk you through what I've learned so far. So 5-point perspective, like the name implies, there are 5 vanishing points. So everything I've seen so far, what you basically want to do is start with a horizontal line, and then put a vanishing point on either end of that line. So that's 2. Then you put one in the middle. That's your third vanishing point. Then you do a line through the middle of that horizontal line. And then on either end of that line, you've got your 4th and 5th vanishing points. Now, when I first started doing this, I just started connecting all the lines to get the perspective grid in place. But I recently just saw another video where the person doing it put down these smaller dots along the lines just to make it a little bit easier. Because as you can tell, I'm not using a ruler or anything like that. And truthfully, you don't really need one. This perspective grid is more to just be used directionally. So it's just to give you an idea of the direction that the lines should be going in. So that way, when you start your drawing and when you get to the end of it, there isn't anything that's too terribly out of whack, and everything is generally going in the direction that it should be going. So I wouldn't be too worried about the lines being perfectly straight or anything like that. So all right, so now that you have all that in place, all you're gonna do is you're essentially gonna connect each of these vanishing points to each other. So I'm just gonna start on this side over here, and all you're gonna do is you're just gonna draw some curved lines. Oop. Let's draw a better curved line. You're just gonna draw some curved lines that connect these points to one another. Okay, now we're just going to do the same thing . Okay, and now we're just going to connect them vertically. So go from this one . Okay, and now from the middle, you're just gonna draw lines that just go out like that. They just radiate out from the middle in every direction. And again, don't worry about this being perfectly straight. It's more just for direction, so you know which way your lines are going. All right, now as you can see with this perspective grid, I got lines going in every single direction. So what I like to do is I like to switch to a different colored pencil just so that the lines I'm drawing stand out from my perspective grid lines, because it'll be very easy to kind of get lost in these lines. I mean, you can use the same pencil that you use for the perspective lines. You just have to press a little harder. I like to keep things a little bit lighter. Just if I make a mistake, it's easier to erase, things like that. So like I said, I'm not an expert in this, so this is gonna be very simple. We're just gonna draw this simple scene here, and we'll see how it turns out. So I'm just gonna start. You wanna start with the foreground and work towards the background. So I'm just gonna start with top of that table, and you essentially, again, your lines can only go in one of 5 directions. So it's not very, it would be kind of hard to not know where you're going. And that's the point of drawing all these lines with the perspective grid. Again, like I mentioned, I'm not an expert in this, but I've been really enjoying doing it. Like I said, this is only probably about like, I think it's my third time doing this, and it's definitely something that I would like to keep working on and keep practicing. Because the effect is pretty cool. So as you can see, the cool thing about 5-point perspective is that you essentially get a view of things from the top, the bottom, the side, and you also get like that fisheye effect, which has been, again, I think what has been really fun for me in doing this these last few weeks. Just I guess playing around with that with that view. And as you can see, just using a different colored pencil just makes all the difference when when you're trying to make sense of what line you're working on and things like that. I mean, at least for me, you know, at least for me. But yeah, but when I first started playing around with this and I drew my first perspective grid, I started to to lay in like all the different things that I was seeing. I was like, there's no way this is going to turn out anywhere near what I'm expecting it to, or how I'm expecting it to, I should say. And to my surprise, it came out pretty okay. I'm very new to it, so it's definitely still a work in progress for me. But I was very pleasantly surprised with how I did on my first few attempts. And as you can see, just even with this basic scene, I should say, you get a pretty neat effect going with just a simple scene like this. As you can see, actually, let me erase the perspective grid lines and we'll get a better look. Let me just grab my eraser. Sorry about that, just realized I didn't have my eraser on me. So now, if you go ahead and you just erase the perspective grid lines that you laid down, you'll start to see how even a simple scene like this one looks a lot more interesting in 5-point perspective. Now, I didn't draw every detail in the scene. Again, I wanted to keep it simple, and in all honesty, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm still not fully experienced in 5-point perspective. But as you can see, just with this simple shape, or this simple scene that we have here, that we get a very interesting look at what would otherwise be kind of a straightforward scene. But yeah, so that's my little short tutorial and just my brief experience with 5-point perspective. I've really been having fun with it, so hopefully if you guys liked what you saw, you'll try it out. But it's a really cool and interesting new way of drawing something that I would have otherwise done in like a 1-point perspective or maybe 2, but I've really been having fun with the 5-point perspective. So hopefully you guys try it out. Maybe you were drawing along with me and you liked what you saw, or you didn't like what you saw. But I mean, either way, leave me down a comment below. Let me know if you're planning on trying to do 5-point perspective. If you did it along with me, how did it come out? What did you think? And I just want to thank you guys really quick for all of the support. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Again, if you're new here, please subscribe, turn on notifications. It really helps me out. I'd really like to grow this channel into something bigger, and really make it a community and like just a safe space for people who are just looking to learn, or whatever the case may be. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one, everybody. Bye-bye.